think we've hit on everything of the Finns. We got 3 teams left, and we're going to the one that I think is right beside them. I could be mistaken. I'm not. I pride myself at being decent at geography. Admittedly, I'm not 100% on this. It is Sweden. The blue and are they close? I think they're. I feel like they're right beside. Like
I don't got the globe beside me now. I can't point
I
that out.
failed AP
I think
World.
they are. I think they are. I think they're literally attached. Like I think they border each other.
This is so
buddy.
sad from a viewer standpoint. These guys don't know where Finland, Sweden is, and they're in university. Jesus Christ.
I know. I'm pretty sure they border each other. But anyways, let's talk about the Swedes.
1 second. The best thing about you guys trying to figure out the geography, you completely missed what Evan said. He just sadly goes into the camera. Yeah, guys, I failed AP World.
Oh.
That one killed me.
Oh my god, that is shocking, Evan.
Adamo, can we give a shout out to our 1% of fans on the Lease Line podcast that are from Finland?
Oh my god, we should have mentioned that.
I wanted to mention that. Don't worry about it, but we got to give them some love. You guys have a good team to look forward to.
Yeah, I had something typed into Google Translate. I had thank you typed into Google Translate, but I didn't say it last time we were talking about it just because I didn't want to try it because I want to butcher it. If anyone wants to maybe say thank you to them in Finnish while I start to talk about we're going to go with neighbors. I think they're neighbors. I'm going to go map of Europe.
God, we need to confirm about this, man.
Yeah, like it's pissing me off.
Get this out of the way. It's a brick
really
wall holding
pissing me off.
Because we're about to lose our 1% of Finnish subscribers.
Sorry,
very quick.
Subscribers. Let's see. Are they? Yes, they are. They are.
Yes.
Sweden is in the middle of Norway and Finland. I was right. But anyways, let's talk about the 3. I was gonna try and pronounce it in Swedish. It's like Tre Konar, the 3 crowns, Sweden. They finished 5th last year, which is actually a pretty disappointing go around. They're going to be led this year by Alexander Holtz, who is a New Jersey Devils draft pick, 7th overall. He actually played 6 games for the Devils this year. He's supposed to be like Jack Hughes' wingman, his partner in crime, because he's that sniper. He is probably the most pure lethal goal scorer in the tournament. But last year, he didn't really show it. Only had 3 points in 5 games, which is a little disappointing for a guy playing in the Swedish top 6 this year with the Utica Comets of the AHL. He's got 10 points in 11 games. He's going to be their guy to go out for. And I think he is a really big storyline with Sweden. I think if Alexander Holtz cannot break out, I don't think this Sweden team is capable. But the more likely option, because Alexander Holtz is that good, Sweden's going to go far. And so that's the main storyline. Can they finally go do this for gold? And will Alexander Holtz break out? Jared, you want to answer any of those 2?
Well, I think Alexander Holtz will break out. And overall, I think going into this tournament, I'd have Sweden as one of the strongest teams. I think they have, as you mentioned, guys like Alexander Holtz, who's an absolute sniper. He's returning to the roster and is hoping to sort of make some noise after maybe a solid tournament from last year, but he definitely has more that he can bring. As well, they have guys like Sharks first rounder, William Eklund, who's looking to kind of step up offensively as well. On defense, they're strong as well with guys like Simon Edvinsson, who's who's a Red Wings first rounder, who was taken right before the Sharks pick from the 2021 season. He's looking to take on a major role in the Sweden defensive core. So overall, I really like their lineup. Like, they have a lot of star players offensively and defensively. And I honestly am really liking what I'm seeing with this team. The one thing, which I think it's one of their greatest strengths, but as well going into the tournament, it is going to be one of their biggest question marks, because I think this team lives and dies on the back of Jesper Wallstedt, who's their goaltender. I think he's unbelievable, and I think he should have a great tournament. He was a high draft pick from Minnesota. I'll get into his stat line in a minute. But I think this is a situation where very much they should be a really good team. There's a lot of hype surrounding the team because they're just such a stacked roster all throughout. They had a disappointing year last year, and now they have a little bit of pressure on them to kind of break out of that and have a strong year. I personally think they will, because they're just such a stacked team all throughout. And if their goaltender plays the way he should, there's no reason to say that Sweden can't have a chance of even going for gold and being one of the strongest teams by the end of the tournament. But yeah, overall, I'd say goaltending, as much as it's definitely a strength, it is a little bit of a question mark, because there's always a question of, if you're purely relying on one goalie, what if he doesn't show up? Then how's the team going to do? But But no, I really like their goalie. I like Jesper Wallstedt. He currently has a 923 save percentage, 1.82 goals against average, in 17 games with Luleå of the SHL. So he's doing really well right now. He's having a great season, and there's a lot of hype surrounding him. He's hyped up to be one of the best goaltending prospects in the world right now. There's obviously a few other names in that mix, guys like Yaroslav Askarov, for example. But yeah, he's in the conversation for one of the next, like a future goaltender that one day will step into the NHL and should be really dominant. He's a great goaltender. And I think if he could show up, I think if all of their players could kind of show up and play the way that they have the potential to do, I see no reason to doubt Sweden heading into this tournament.
Yeah, I like the point that you bring up about Jesper Wallstedt, because I think he's the best goaltending tournament in the holy cow, the best goaltending prospect in the tournament, and that's I argue it's a fact. Even though the Russians have Yaroslav Askarov, Wallstedt's doing things that Askarov wasn't doing at his age. And I think Minnesota has been freaking unreal at drafting recently. They absolutely stole him. I think he fell into like the 20s. It was crazy. Another guy that fell that I want to touch on is Fabian Lisel. He is going to probably be on that top right wing beside, the top 6 right wing. That's probably Holtz spot on the first line. Fabian Lisel has 28 points in 23 games for the Vancouver Giants in WHL, and he's the type of guy that if anyone's gonna pull off a Michigan on Sweden, it's probably gonna be him, because he's not afraid to do wild and crazy shit with the puck, because he can. He's super creative and he uses it to his advantage. He's a willing passer, but he can shoot. He's got really good shooting mechanics, according to certain scouts, and based off the highlights I've seen, yeah, the kid can rip it. So Evan, what do you think? Do you think Sweden can go all the way?
I definitely do, because I think it's goaltending that definitely wins you championships, and Sweden has that. I mean, I don't know if you guys mentioned Isaac Rosen. He was a draft pick of this past year's draft. He's a great potential X Factor wildcard that could even push Sweden to the top. And to your point on Holtz, I swear to God, if he doesn't break out now, when's the time? If you're New Jersey, you're watching him like a hawk, because he's someone who you were hoping would be in the NHL with you right now, and it just hasn't worked out that way, where he spent most of his time in Utica playing in the AHL. And I think this is perfect for him, just to maybe gain confidence again. Up and down, obviously the confidence of playing in the NHL, but not really contributing as maybe you hope to envision. But no, I really like Sweden's roster. They always muster up an incredible team. Oh my God, Jesper Wallstedt. Boston was trying to get him in the draft. You notice, Boston traded up, and they actually traded up as close as right behind Minnesota, and then Minnesota took him. Yeah. So that was kind of a punch in the gut for Boston there, and they're trying to figure out how to replace Tuukka Rask. But no, I think they got a great squad. I would just say that the forwards, I don't know, they got some top 6, but I'm not a fan of lines 3 and 4. So we just got to see what's going on.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I said this team is going to go as far as Alexander Holtz and Jesper Wallstedt takes them. This is Alexander Holtz's third. It's his third go around at this. He played in the World Juniors before COVID even existed, and he hasn't really got it done. 5 points in 7 games there as an underager, which is good. Last year, 3 points in 5 games with only 1 goal, not good enough. This guy has all the tools, and we're just if it's not going to happen this year, I would maybe start to worry a little bit. But Mario, what do you got to say on Alexander Holtz, or even just the Sweden? What are you expecting from this team? Because I think they're pretty polarizing going into the tournament.
Yeah, so before I get into Sweden, I'm going to play a little bit of a game with you guys of do you remember? Do you remember one of the craziest records broken in last World Juniors? And if so, can you name me one? What's the craziest record you remember getting broken in last World Juniors?
I actually do know this, I think.
And what is it?
Go
ahead.
Wasn't it? Didn't they lost the round robin game, right?
Oh, they did. Do you know the streak that it came to an end to?
62.
You're somewhat close. 54 straight round robin wins for this program. Yeah, crazy. And they lost to the Russians in overtime. 5-4 was your final. Why am I bringing this up? Well, they know how to win round robin games, but now they have to face some hardships in the round robin this season. In the knockout rounds alone this year, they have to face the US, which, as we have more than preached, have a very talented and deep team, and those same Russians, not the same team, but the same program and the same coach. These Russians are looking to do the exact same thing they did last year in the round robin. So this is what I'm kind of getting at with Sweden. Many years they cruise through the round robin. This year they're going to be facing a big test. I still think they're going to get through, but they're going to be faced with some adversity. How do they react with that adversity? I think it's going to serve them quite well. I mean, it's very easy to cruise through something and then go to a certain stage like many other teams do and say, oh, we could just take the pedal off the gas a little bit. Sweden has done that for many years, and that's been one of the reasons why they can't ever get that extra mile and take that gold medal home. This year, I think they're going to face some adversity within the round robin, and I think it's going to serve them, like I mentioned, quite well. Going back to Holtz here, he's an extremely effective player. I think this is the World Juniors, and you mentioned his third straight World Juniors appearance. He's got to be as effective as the guys around him are. I think they're going to, both the team is going to assist with him in his development this year, and I think he's going to take that next step. In New Jersey, you mentioned Evan, they're going to be watching him extremely closely, and as they should. He's a terrific player. He's got to put up some terrific numbers. All I got to say for Sweden is don't run Holtz into the ground. Don't rely on him very strictly. Have some other players, and I know they do. Use some other players to your advantage and don't rely on this youngster, or I should say this World Junior vet, to lead you to the promised land, because if you're going that route, I don't think it's going to work. So dominate in the round robin, face the adversity, and maybe Holtz on the good side of things will come up successful and put up some points that we all think he should.
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic answer. If we're gonna like stay on the route of maybe little mini games. Last time that the World Juniors were held in Edmonton was obviously last year, but I don't really count last year, even though the United States won. They deservedly won. The time before that, it was held in Edmonton in 2012. That was the last time a team not called Finland, United States, or Canada won, and it was Sweden. Sweden, their last gold medal came in 2012, if that wasn't clear enough. And it came in Calgary and Edmonton. So who knows? Maybe it could be Sweden's year. I think we said everything on Sweden.